Good morning, interwebs. It's slightly after 10 on January 1st, 2017. Woohoo! Woohoo! And you know, people say that how you start your new year is how your whole year is gonna go. So apparently I'm going to have clingy children who have peed on me in bed and had a difficult night sleeping. I'm gonna wake up with a headache, really wanting a cup of coffee. Good year ahead, right? But
you know, you really should go hair with the dog on that one.
Oh yeah, because whew, that apple cider sure did do me in with all them bubbles. But now I'm making breakfast. We're gonna have some eggs with bacon cooked in them because, well, they're eggs and bacon. Gotta start the new year off right. And I am defrosting some spare ribs to make for dinner. And what is Kuma eating? I think Kuma found some food from the compost heap. I better go regulate that. So Steve,
yes.
Where are we at progress-wise?
I put in the circuit breakers today.
It appears the whole kitchen's about to go to pot.
The whole
as
kitchen
you like to say.
is about to go to pot. I'm working on hanging up the other two light fixtures that are not currently hung up. Plus, I'll probably go get the ceiling fan and put it up today as well.
So the fixtures, and Tuesday we'll be able to run power to them.
Yeah, well actually we can turn them on today because they all have ends that are in safe locations. So we should have lights in here by the end of the day. That would make my day. We probably will not leave them on, the power to them on overnight.
But I could have light this evening, and you could turn them off when you go to work?
Potentially.
Oh, because that would be so nice. But what he's working on, the thing that's in his lap, is a pot rack. So the part there with the grid, that's the actual like rack part, and then over here is a lighting fixture that fits into it. So there will be two down lights over our stove in our pot rack, which I think should be really, really fun and effective. I think I missed the naughty words segment, so now it's safe for the internet. Yes. That looks so low. I wonder if it's going to seem so low when we put the stove in.
I mean, that's at that head height again.
It is too low because you need the pans to hit at head height. Like, I'm going to guess it probably needs to go like 6 links higher. Can I hang you a frying pan? What is the joys of having dated since high school? Stupid things from when you were in high school are still funny, even in your 30s. I'm watching. Is there... No? 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 Is there a light switch that needs to be flicked?
Potentially. That's not good.
Womp womp. Okay, we shall give it a go once more. We're using a different one to test, but Steve thinks he may have solved the problem. Let's see.
Well, that's not what we were hoping for.
Womp womp. Look what I reinstalled today. I miss seeing all the pretty pictures. So, between that and it's an easy way for me to actually put things on Ravelry. Yeah, guess I'm back. If you want, you can go ahead and tag me. It is, whoop, Cutesy Poo Creations on Instagram. And that's what it sounds like in my head. That would be the sound. So there's a light on. I didn't see the process, but I see the result. Yay! Lucky, lucky, 3 lights.
Oh, I forgot the other one was still on.
Oh yeah, don't touch it with your tongue or anything. Yay! Oh, that's exciting. Just one more switch. Yay!
Well, you were even ready? I assumed.
I was. I even had the camera on. For all the want-was I missed on the first try. And that's with only one bulb in it, so it'll be three times as...
Three bulbs.
Is it?
They're compact fluorescent, so they've got to warm up.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, that's not very bright. It's pretty, though. I like it.
Good.
And you have the switch turned off to the pot rack, right? That's why it's not on?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
I think. You could go try. There's 3 switches to try from. Pick the right one.
Is it this one? No. Is it this one?
Uh-oh. Well, curses.
Well, there's that one. Sorry. That was me.
The curses were not at you.
Oh, was it that the middle one is now not working?
No, is the middle one not working?
I'm turning on the switch that should be working right now. Nothing's happening.
Try it again.
Okay. Does it work on this end? It doesn't work on this end, though.
Try the middle one.
So it is about 11:50, and today has been what I was terming a personal development day. Basically, I stayed in my pajamas all day and did things that were good for me. I made sure I did my affirmations today. I did some copy work, which was like copying poems, which is good for me both because the poems are like nice and meditative to listen to in my brain because I don't like say them out loud. But I hear them read by my own little voice while I'm copying them out. And then the act of writing is like meditative and nice. I worked some on my jacket that I'm working on, and I listened to some music, and I drank coffee, and I watched some YouTube, and all of a sudden everyone's on this introspective end of the year, beginning of the next year, like, what do I hope to do in the coming year, and what have I done right or wrong or whatever. No, people tend to ignore the what I did wrong, probably because that's not positive, right? But I think in a lot of ways it is positive. But I frequently look at YouTube as basically screaming out into the abyss, right? Like, I put whatever's happening, good, bad, otherwise. Sometimes I'm an emotional wreck, as you know. Sometimes I'm really happy and bubbly and like, yay! And sometimes, I don't know, I'm something else or somewhere in the middle. And you just kind of throw that out into the nothingness that is the interwebs. And sometimes you're really lucky and people holler back like, hey, I get it. I'm that way too. And sometimes people holler back, hey, you suck. Because basically that's what the thumbs down dislike button is, right? And sometimes it's somewhere in between. Mostly it's somewhere in between. But there's value in that screaming, both from a personal standpoint of it feels good and cathartic to like blah, all the things, and it feels like nice and warm and squishy and all that to get like positive feedback, and then it kind of feels like getting kicked in the stomach when you get enough of the negative feedback. But hopefully you got more warm and squishy, and so when people kick you in the stomach you have that nice layer of squishy to protect you. But yeah, so that's my reason, is just in the hopes that somebody finds some value in what I have to say, and if nothing else, I am that somebody who found it valuable to say it. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's just been interesting to listen to all of the other vloggers and people that I watch kind of do the introspective end/beginning of the year thing that we just naturally do. But yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about that for right now. There was a much longer, like, ranty thing in my head, but now it's not all, like, flying out of my mouth. But I was thinking about it tonight when, oh, this is where I was going. Now I remember. So, in addition to, like, this community that I'm part of via YouTube, I also wanted to be more involved in a crafty community. Like, I don't have a yarny group around me, and even if I did, I don't know that I would be particularly comfortable in it. I don't know, for a number of reasons. So, I'm trying to get slightly more involved in Ravelry, which I've said before, but I've picked like 2 places that I'm going to try and do more crochet alongs. One is in the Red Heart group, mostly because I just have a lot of Red Heart yarn, because number 1, it is what I can afford. Number 2, they make for good items for sale because, well, they are indestructible. So I use a lot of Red Heart for that reason, and they're easy for me to come by because that's what they sell at Walmart, which is the easiest place for me to get more supplies. And the other place is the Our Happy Cow group. I think it's something like that. Anyways, they do a weekly item, a dishcloth every week, a monthly doily, and I guess they're doing like a quarterly blanket. So I'm definitely going to do the doily, and I already did week 1's project, and I will be doing the washcloth, and we'll see about the blanket. I haven't quite decided. But tonight, I made these. They are week 1's project, which are the Ups and Downs mitts by Moogly Blog. So I made those. They turned out good. I did them this evening between when the kids woke up from rest time and making dinner and doing some read alouds. Ooh, we started a new book. It's called The Great Turkey Walk, and it's very simplistic because the main character is like a self-proclaimed simple man. But because of that, like, the writing is just so, like, dialed in and on point, and I haven't read anything that seemed so perfectly edited in a while, which is just kind of cool. And it's still kind of like in a vernacular, but it's so to the point and well written because of that. So I'm curious how the whole story goes. I will let you know more progress as we get there. But I did some reading to the kids and just generally dealing with the mayhem that is our life right now. And the fact, that there's like a room where there's all sorts of dangerous things you shouldn't run around, which just makes everybody, including myself, want to run around in there dangerously. So I am ahead of the game for tomorrow. I've already put dinner in the lunch in the crock pot. The spare ribs I was going to make tonight, I decided I wanted to have them for a meal while Steve was awake, and they were not quite defrosted. So I threw them in the crock pot. They'll be ready in the morning. We'll eat them for lunch. Instead, I made meatballs and macaroni with Parmesan for dinner, and they were delicious. And there are leftovers, which makes me happy because we can probably have them again tomorrow night for dinner in some fashion, so yay. And now I'm going to go and try, I signed up for Yoga with Adrienne's 31-Day Revolution, which is like a 31-day program which starts January 1st of yoga, and I'm going to give it a shot. How many days I'll make it through, I don't know, but I figure every day that I do is better off than I was not doing it, right? So, I am off to do that, and I will see you all tomorrow. Nighty-night!